Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Alex. Alex is from New York, so let's see what Alex has to say. Enjoy the interview. Alex, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
So tell me, how's your day been so far?
It's been pretty good, pretty good. It's a day off, so taking the time to relax. I need it. Definitely needed.
So where are you from, Alex?
Well, originally from Pennsylvania, but moved to New York about a few years ago, and now I'm living in Rochester, well, near Rochester.
I see. And why New York? Why the move from Pennsylvania?
Honestly, I wanted to leave PA, but I didn't want to go too far, just in case, kind of just one of those things where you want to be sort of close to home, but not really for any real reason. And then I just ended up, meeting somebody during the pandemic, actually, and we ended up, moving in together, and, so now this is just kind of where things ended up, and it's just kind of permanent.
My God, you are so lucky. You meet someone during the pandemic where the world is upside down, everyone is alone, everyone is looking for some company, and suddenly you meet someone.
Yeah, no, it's actually pretty wild. I got laid off from work, and we had kind of just started talking, and then so I had a month where I was just at home, and there was a lot of vodka. But aside from all that, we just kind of talked and kept each other company. And then, it just started as a friendship. And then it really grew to where we started to really care for each other. And then we decided to meet up, and it just, we decided to give it a go, and no regrets.
Amazing. And what do you do for a living, Alex?
I'm an assistant manager at a gas station. It took me a little while to get there. I've actually been with this company for about 2.5 years. Well, actually a little over that. In October, it'll be 3 years. But for basically the last decade, I've been doing a lot of retail cashier work. So to stick with just one particular job this long, which doesn't seem like long, but it's like dog years, to stay with them this long, and then finally make it to this point. It's actually pretty cool. It's a nice accomplishment.
Amazing. And do you work during the evening or during the day, or it's different shifts?
During the day, mostly. But with my job, it's just kind of to fill in wherever we need it. If somebody calls off, or somebody we're shorthanded or short-staffed, so if I have to work mornings, nights, it's wherever they need me. That sort of thing. My schedule is always changing.
Amazing. Right. So, and tell me, what do you like the most about living in your new city now that you've been for the last few years? What's the best part of living there?
Well, I feel like everyone is a little more, I guess, I don't know, just more focused on their own lives and, their own going on, that you can just be yourself a little bit more and nobody really cares, whereas in PA, it's a lot more, just conservative and, looking over your neighbor's fence, what are they doing? And it's really hard to just, be yourself and just be relaxed and just say, okay, this is me, we're good. Here it's way easier, I feel like.
I see. And all your family are back in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
I see. Amazing.
Most of them,
right.
Yeah.
Before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
Okay. I used to be 300 pounds, and I lost it after a lot of really, 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 really hard work. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. And why the change? That it's just for health reasons, or you just felt like, okay, you need to change it?
I just woke up one day and I said, I am too fat for this. That was it. I just, I rolled out of bed and I said, no, ma'am.
Wow. Wow. What
Yeah.
amazing. And how long did it take you to get to the point where you are right now?
Well, honestly, about 7-8 years. But that's the thing. Like, I didn't commit to any, any diet plan. I didn't go to the gym. I wasn't like super religious about it. I just took my time. But, I do wish that I had been a little more, I guess, strict with it and, a little more organized with it. But instead, this is what I got, but I can still say it's an accomplishment and be happy with it and say, hey, I did this myself. I didn't have to do any, surgeries. I didn't have to do anything like that. And, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Amazing. Very good. Alex, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Okay.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Random questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Okay, let's do it. Okay, Alex, before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? All very friendly.
Okay. All right.
First question for you is, if you won the lottery, yeah, what would be your first big splurge?
Oh, God. You know what? I would go right ahead and get that cabin on the lake that I fantasize about and just go ahead and just make that move. I think I would.
Oh, that's nice.
Just go walk in the woods.
And somewhere specific or somewhere around New York?
Honestly, for that, I'd probably like to stay in the Northeast. I really love the seasons, especially fall, and that to me is just perfect. It's perfection.
Amazing. Fall is my favorite season of the year as well. Oh my God, it's the most beautiful one, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, yeah, gorgeous.
Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is, what do you consider most romantic?
Honestly, just people paying attention to the small details about you, and then doing the small things like helping out around the house, just showing it rather than always having to say it. Really just remembering the small things and the things that other people would just kind of like look over or just not pay attention to. When somebody does that, or actually, currently when my boyfriend does that, here and there and just catches me off guard, it's just like, man, I love it.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
Oh my God, yeah, like stupidly so. It's ridiculous. It's so sappy, but you know what? Whatever. I'm here for it. So
sweet, very sweet. Next one. Let's do it. Hey, before the next question, when I was checking your profile a little bit, there was a word there saying Godzilla. Why?
Well, because I feel like I really relate to Godzilla in a cheesy way. Just really resilient, pretty strong through tough situations. I also have insane body heat. It is ridiculous. Like, yeah, just really warm all the time. So it's just kind of like a joke between my boyfriend and I. Like, sometimes there's got to be like a protective barrier between us because I'm just giving off way too much body heat. So it's just pretty much that.
Next question for you is, What is something you wish you could do every single day?
Every single day. Oh boy. That's a tough one. You know what? I wish I could go for a hike every day. Just, find a different spot in some different wooded area and just go for a different hike every day. I would absolutely love that because I just feel probably at my best when I'm in the woods. And I feel like, a lot of the time when I'm out walking and just getting any type of exercise, it's just a really nice feeling. So I think to be able to just combine those two things every single day and then just incorporate that in my everyday routine, I'd be really, really happy.
Alex, saying that, as I can see how much you enjoy living the place where you are right now. When you moved there, what was the most challenging part for you when you moved to this new place right now, the new city?
I think that it just wasn't happening fast enough. Honestly, just my situation, just living where I was at the time, I was so incredibly depressed, and it was really, really stressful. And if I was going to do any self-improving, it wasn't going to be there. And it felt like the longer I was there, the more I was running out of time. And I can't even really define what that means. So for me, just to be able to finally get this move on the road and happening, it was just like, oh my God. It was good. We needed it.
See. Next one, let's do it. Next question. Right, next question is, what 3 things do you want to be remembered for?
I think, honestly, my resilience, I think I'd want to be remembered for the fact that no matter how much life throws at me, I still try to get back up and keep going, and just not giving up. And even when I think it's impossible, still trying to find a way. I think that's the thing I'd want people to remember about me is that, I'm just hard to keep me down.
I see. I can see you. You've got very beautiful eyes. Do people stop you because of your eyes?
What's that?
Some people sometimes they stop you or they come like they say compliments regarding your eyes.
Oh yeah, at work sometimes, and that catches me off guard. So I'm just like all awkward and then just knocking everything over. I'm a hot mess half the time, but it's good. It's good.
Let me see closer. The camera. Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Alex from New York. Next question for you is, what's the biggest difference between you and your best friend?
Me and my best friend is... You know what? I'm probably the most dramatic out of the two of them. Oh my gosh. Out of the two of them, I am by far probably the most dramatic, and it is great. I have one who lives in Wisconsin, and she is, incredibly grounded and very blunt. But, and it's so funny because that used to drive me crazy and we used to go at it all the time. But now I appreciate that so much, that honesty. And I'm used to it, so it's just like doesn't even faze me. I'm good with it. And my other friend, she is just incredibly laid back. So whenever she and I hang out, no matter how stressed I am, if she's there, I manage to mellow out and just, get on her level. And then me, I'm just the neurotic hot mess that's all over the place. But, we're good. It's all good.
And where they live? They live as well in New York or not?
One of them lives in New York, and then the other lives out in Wisconsin.
I see. How far are you from New York City?
I actually don't know that. I really don't know. Probably, I'd say anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, maybe.
I see.
Maybe.
I see.
Yeah.
Ready for another one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next question. Alex, before the next question, as I could see your beautiful eyes shining when you were talking about your boyfriends, so far, what's the most beautiful lesson that you've learned from him so far?
Communication's key. 100%. You know, you have to very much listen to each other and, you know, talk, you know, not just hold stuff in and, you know, not let them play guessing games, you know, and don't play guessing games with them. You know, it's just, you have to talk, you have to deal with things, you know. And also, another one is just, you know, temperament too. You know, you want to keep that, basically just, you know, keep your anger where it belongs. And remember, they are there to support you and help you and be there for you and love you. You know, that's a really big thing. You know, when the whole world is against you, you know, they're supposed to be the one at the end of the day that's there, you know, to catch you, and you are supposed to be the one at the end of the day to catch them. You know, you got to be there for each other, and you got to keep each other, you know, in check and on top of things. And, you know, that's incredibly important. A big lesson.
Saying that, what's the biggest difference between both of you, and what's the biggest similarity?
Difference between he and I?
Yeah.
Oh boy. He's definitely more mellow and laid back and just, I think, I don't know, just here for life, here to enjoy the party. And then me, I'm just constantly, I'm a little more type A, but not fully, because I still have my moments where I'm just like, you know what, let's just go with the flow. But for the most part, I'm like, super annoying. I'll get ready like 3 hours before I have to be to work, just so I don't have to stress prep, whatever. It's already done and out the way. I can sit down and do me for like the next 3 hours. So it's super super annoying, but you know, that's probably the biggest difference between us. He's definitely more mellow and I'm a little more tightly wound, but it's a nice balance, I think.
And the similarity?
What's that?
The similarity between both of you, the biggest similarity?
Similarity. We both like scary movies, scary, you know, anything really. We like horror. Me a little more, I think, than him to some level. But yeah, we both love horror. Even in video games and, you know, TV shows, and that's kind of like a common ground for us a lot of the time. I'm a little more picky when it comes to stuff, so it takes me a little bit to really get into something, but usually when I do, I find that the common denominator a lot of the time is horror. I mean, that and comedy too, but if you're going to appeal to me in any way, horror is the way to do it.
Amazing. Very good. Next question for you is, you're talking about TV. What is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Favorite TV show? You know what? That was Salem when it was out. I really, really loved that show. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Charmed. You know, I was obsessed with it growing up, and I'm still obsessed with it. But when the show Salem came out, I really, really dug that for some reason. And I'm so mad that it was only 3 seasons, but, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too, I guess. But I thought it was great. I really loved it. I enjoyed it, and it was just something that, like, it was actually funny. I had a picky moment when someone was trying to, like, get me into it, and I was just like, I really want to watch this. Like, what? What are you talking about? And then finally, just one day, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna throw this on and see what's what. And then next thing you know, I was hooked, and I couldn't stop watching it. And I'm just like, oh God, what's happening? So,
What is
yeah,
about?
that was one of them.
What this TV show is about?
It talks about, the Salem witch trials, but it adds a fictional twist on there by, implying that the witches were actually the ones running the witch trials, but making it seem like it was, the Puritans. It was a nice twist on a historical event. I like that. It kept it sort of grounded, but also very magical in a way. It was cool. I liked it.
Very good. Next one.
Yeah.
Next question for you is, good one. What do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
Each other's past a little bit, and I'm not so much talking about in particular who's been with who, but more or less what's made them who they are today. Because what you see of somebody now, there's a countless amount of events that have, happened and shaped them into who they are, and helped them become who they are and think the way they do and, react to things the way they do. So I think it's incredibly important to really take the time to learn about this person, not just the very surface things, but go back. I mean, for the love of God, don't shrink them, but go back, and just learn about them, and do it in a way that's not just so prying, but in a caring way, care to learn about them. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it, but do it because you want to. I mean, if you can't care to learn about somebody's past, do you really want to spend time with them? I mean, do you really want to invest that much? So I think a lot of that is incredibly important. You just want to learn their background and what made them, who they are today. And that helps you in current situations, or just circumstances where you don't know how to handle it, but hey, you've learned their history, so maybe you know how to help them.
Absolutely. I think the better you get to know the person, you feel more confident to be related to this person and start a relationship. You know what I mean? You feel more connection somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next question. Let's do it. But before the next question, Alex, growing up as a gay boy, did you always have the support of your family, or it was a bit challenging for you being gay?
I didn't really have support there. We actually don't talk. I haven't spoke to them in 5 years, and probably not going to. School was a nightmare. I didn't really get to enjoy school, as much as I wanted to, because it was always it was awful. And I don't think they realized that it didn't stop when I left school, that I had to go home and put up with that some more. And I don't think a lot of people realize that every day, I just felt like I was drowning and I was never going to have a way out. And so when I finally turned 18 and just, went off on my own, it was like, yep, all right, I'm checking out of this. It was nice because at that point I didn't need anybody. I had myself, and, I cared about myself enough that I was always going to take care of myself. I'm incredibly blessed to have my boyfriend in my life. And, I tell him all the time, I don't know what I'd do without him. And that's the God's honest truth. it would just be, I would be a completely different person. Talk about big events, changing people. But I feel like I had a moment where I was like, this is, all I've got is me. So I've got to take care of myself. I've got to, call the shots in my life, and I can't expect support, everywhere I go. I have to be my support. I have to look out for me, and I have to be my rock. Sometimes it's not always easy, but it's all you've got,
Oh, thanks for sharing that, Alex. Thank you very much for sharing this personal event. I think, and actually, I'm grateful for you saying that, because for sure, people watch the interview, they would appreciate that, because, people, a lot of people, they go through a lot of tough situations because, of being gay or just being ourselves. Sometimes some people, they're lucky, sometimes they have support, and sometimes they don't. And I'm glad that you kind of found yourself, and you are kind of, looking after yourself now. As you said, you need to look after yourself first. And I'm glad you said that, because I'm sure people watch the interview, they might be in the same situation, like trapped for some reason, and just seeing you talking about, and you went through that. I'm sure people appreciate that as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wish a lot of people who don't have support, always remembered, is at the end of the day, you've got you. It may not seem like much, but really it's everything. You can't forget that.
Absolutely. And you got your boyfriend, someone that, is there for you. And I think that's what matters. Sometimes we can find amazing people that you're not expecting, and some very traumatic period of our lives. Sometimes someone just appears from nowhere, and you go like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, for real. I didn't expect that. So you're not kidding. It just comes out of nowhere.
Oh, sweet. He's going to be very happy when he watches the interview.
Yes.
What's his name?
Dave.
Dave, you're a good guy.
He is.
Next question for you is, if someone offered to tell your future, would you accept it or not, and why?
I would say no. Because I know how my crazy ass is, and I will try to change it, and I will totally screw it up. I already know how it's going to go, so no. I know the mess that I will make. So let's not say we did.
Let's keep to the universe, yeah? Let's keep the thing how it comes.
Yeah, let's just keep every day a surprise. It's fine.
Absolutely. Next question. Next question, Alex. Right.
All right.
Ooh, tough question for you now. Difficult question, yeah? How do you think you die, or how would you like to die if you could choose?
Oh, God. Probably just like in my sleep. Like, I hate pain. I'm a big baby for that. So, yeah. Just like, one of those things.
Are you scared of dying, or it's something that doesn't bother you?
No, because to me, morbidly enough, that's kind of one of those super peaceful thoughts in my mind, because I just really disconnect from the emotional aspect of it and just kind of focus on the fact that, there's no consciousness, there's no any of that. So I guess it's hard for me to get sad about the idea of me dying, like, a loved one or whatever, like, oh my God, because all I'm thinking about is the emotional aspect. But for me personally, it's just kind of like one of those, whatever.
Very good. Right, Alex,
Yeah.
I have 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Alex, next question is, what was the last thing that made you smile genuinely?
Last thing that made me smile. Hmm. Honestly, this morning, just going back into the bedroom to cuddle with my boyfriend. Yeah.
Oh,
I woke up early and then just decided to go back in, and I just felt at peace. So it was nice.
oh, you're so lucky.
Thank you.
Very good. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Alex from New York. Next question is, what scares you the most about your future?
Getting old, which I refuse to do. So even though I'm 30, I'm still telling everybody I'm 25. You know what? You just no more. No, 25 is the cutoff. Like, I stopped aging. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it.
You're so young, my goodness.
Yep. We're staying that way.
Ready for the last one?
Yep.
Last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, Alex, as you mentioned before, like those 2 years that the world went upside down regarding the COVID crisis, yeah? Personally, for you, what's the biggest negative impact that brought to your personal life, and also the most positive impact?
So the most negative probably had to be when I was, working through the pandemic, like when I wasn't laid off for that month and I was actually working through it. You got to see a side to people that was truly upsetting. It was, heartbreaking and unfortunately awful. It was seeing fear up close and personal. Not my fear, but seeing other people afraid and seeing what fear does to people and, how they react to fear, especially when it's something they don't understand. That's terrifying to me, and that's heartbreaking to see, So that was probably the most negative thing. And, it's still, even now when I'm at work, affects how I see people. And I hate that because it's like, you saw a side of them that you can't unsee, so now you just feel completely detached from them and you can't relate to them anymore, and it's scary. But the good thing is, for me personally, I have learned to care about people more. Don't take people for granted. I didn't lose anyone personally, close to me during the pandemic, but, one of my best friends, that lives in New York, she lost somebody, and I got to see the pain that caused her, and it was awful. My friend out in Wisconsin, she and her daughter got COVID. That was scary to me because it was like, oh my God, like, I hope you guys, what would I do? And her daughter is my goddaughter. So, that would be especially upsetting. Like, I couldn't imagine. So I've learned to have more compassion for people and to not take people for granted, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I think people forget that a lot, even still. And it blows my mind. But yeah, no, it was a wake-up call. It showed me, people's true nature, and it just taught me to really love the ones that are in your life and take every moment seriously, and, just don't miss anything.
Amazing. Very good. Last question for you is, when was the last time that you cried and why?
Okay. So I'm dumb, And I love to watch Charmed, obviously, I told you, one of my favorite shows. And it's an episode in season 4. I think it's the second or third episode in. It's called Hell Hath No Fury. And there's a particular scene where one of the sisters has to admit that she's angry at one of the others for dying. You know, she's at her tombstone and she has or at her grave and she has a breakdown. Oh, well, I'm a firm believer that when you're incredibly stressed, sometimes you just need a good cry. You just need to get those emotions out, cleanse, and move on. So I look up this scene that gets me every time, and I watch it. So for the next hour, I'm sitting on my couch, just a roll of toilet paper next to me, just blowing my nose, a blubbering idiot, just all self-induced, because I needed to cry.
Did you feel better afterwards?
Oh, I felt way better afterwards, you know, but it was,
I like
that, yeah.
your honesty. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Okay.
One word for money.
Evil.
Family.
Gone.
One word for life.
Death.
Okay. Love.
Forever.
One word for sex.
Sick.
Ooh. Politics.
What's that?
Politics.
Crazy.
Religion.
Nope.
Fear.
Powerful.
Friendship.
Blessing.
Desire.
Twisted.
Regrets.
None.
Success.
Inevitable.
One word for wish.
Happiness.
And one word for happiness.
Oh, well, weed.
Let's see. One word for Pennsylvania.
Redneck.
I think you're the second person who tells me that, like, I have the show.
I'm not kidding.
One word for New York.
You know what? That should have been weed, but I'm going to say, you know what? Relaxed.
See. And the last one now, USA, one word.
Fixable.
Good one, I like that. Right, let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely boyfriend for a coffee, yeah? And I'm going to ask your boyfriend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Alex, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your boyfriend would say?
Probably my love and romantic side. Super cheesy. Like, you know, I'm the type that would put, you know, rose petals on the bed and buy roses just because. I don't know. I do stupid little stuff like that. He loves it. So that's probably what he would say. And what's one of the best things I would say about myself?
Something that
Or
you need
about
to
him?
work on, to improve. Something negative.
Oh, okay. something to improve. Probably my patience.
Some work in progress?
It's a work in progress. I think I think retail will do that to you, but it's okay. It's okay. We're good.
Very good. Let's play now Alex and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But hey, you can ask me a question now.
All right. What's your favorite midnight snack?
Right. Oh my God, that's so bad. That's so bad. But cupcakes. Oh my God.
Same. Like, do it up.
If I have at home, like, not just cupcakes, but like cakes or muffins. Oh my God, if I wake up in the middle of the night, or if I go to grab some water or something, if they are visible, that's it. It's impossible for me not to go and grab one. Sometimes two.
Yeah. Always grab two.
So yes, I remember a few years ago, a long time ago, when I met my best friend, we were living together, and I remember once I literally was in the kitchen, like late night. I went to grab something, and there was a muffin there, and he got me straight away, and he said to me, "You're gonna eat this right now?" I was like, "What's wrong?" He said, "My God, you're going to bed now." It's been 10 years then since we've been best friends, and he still speaks on me about that. Sometimes he goes like, "Do you still eat the muffin before you go into bed?" I go like, "Just forget it. Just forget that." He still keeps, can you imagine? He still remembers. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel you though. Like, listen, I'll have cake for breakfast. Like, that's adulting. That's what being an adult is about. Like, right? Chicken wings for breakfast, burgers, cake, whatever. I don't care.
Yes, I have a sweet tooth, so for me, if I see sweets around me, it's a guilt pleasure. Yeah, it's difficult. But but I'm very but cakes for me, cakes, muffins, cupcakes, all those, to be very heavy things for me. It's my weakness, for sure.
Yeah. Same.
Alex, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
Absolutely. Did you?
I did, absolutely. Thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks for being kind. Also, thanks for being so open and talk about, your life, your challenges in life. I think, as I mentioned before, it's really cool for us. It's important as well for us to talk about those things, because in a way we are releasing ourselves, like talking about, and at the same time as well, we are helping other people maybe going through for the same situation, or maybe went through that. And it's good to know that someone maybe face the same challenge, that we feel like that we are not alone. There's always someone maybe facing the same story, not just negative, but positive as well. So I think it's always good to talk a bit about those things. Yeah.
Absolutely. You're never alone. There's always someone. Remember, even if it's yourself.
Absolutely. Alex, before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
You know what? We have so much more control over our lives than we think. And if you are incredibly unhappy and if you're incredibly depressed, always remember you can change that in some shape or form. If it's even the smallest thing that leads to another thing that gets you where you got to be, you can change your life. You have control. Don't forget that.
Oh, amazing. And as you said before, you're never alone. There's always someone that is there for you. Always.
Absolutely.
Alex, thanks so much for the interview. It was a pleasure. Regards to your boyfriends, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Enjoy your day.
You too.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.